Heart attack and stroke are the top health threats to women, but research shows only 56% of women in the U.S. recognize heart disease is the #1 killer. St. Luke's Muriel I. Kaufman Women's Heart Center was the first of its kind to solely focus on the care and treatment of women's hearts and has paved the way for women's heart care across the country. It's celebrating its 30th anniversary of advocating for and treating women's hearts. With me today is Dr. Tracy Stevens. She's the medical director of St. Luke's Muriel I. Kaufman Women's Heart Center. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, Dr. Stevens, why is education on women's heart health crucial?
It is absolutely crucial because we've not recognized this as our #1 health threat. And in fact, in the 1980s, not too long ago, the billboards in town still said, "Learn CPR, save your husband's life." At that time, we were not aware that this was a disease for women. And in fact, it was just probably 20 years ago that it was announced in our country that this is our #1 health threat. And in fact, the 20 years prior, more women than men have and are still dying every year of heart attack and stroke. And in fact, now the data show that heart attack and stroke kill far more women than all forms of cancer combined. Yet the awareness is not there, as you said. Our mission is to raise the awareness, provide credible education, and a call to action that we need to take ownership of this very, very important health threat.
Now, what are some conditions that uniquely impact women in our hearts?
Unique conditions that affect women, some just women and predominantly women. One is related to pregnancy, and unfortunately, of all the developed countries in the world, the United States has the highest maternal fetal mortality. And unfortunately, in the U.S., Kansas City, Missouri has the highest death rate in pregnant women. Over a third of the cause is related to cardiovascular conditions, and very commonly, heart attack, stroke related to preeclampsia and eclampsia, hypertension related to pregnancy. Other conditions unique to women, SCAD, spontaneous coronary dissection, very much more common in women under the age of 50, especially during pregnancy. And then ANOCA, angina with no obstructive coronary arteries, more common in women after menopause, where unfortunately it takes an average of 3 years for women to get that right diagnosis.
Why is research so important in the future of women's heart health?
Research is lacking that focuses on sex-specific research. How we manage heart conditions in women is based predominantly on studies performed in middle-aged men. There's many reasons, especially in the past, why women weren't included in research. But we have got to focus on sex-specific research because while, yes, there are some commonalities in risk factors, conditions, and management, we've just touched on some of these unique conditions that we have very few research studies that have guided us. And so our team is fierce in this mission on the research component because we have got to engage and we're moving so slowly. We have got to accelerate the funding and the enrollment in research.
So St. Luke's Muriel I. Kaufman Heart Center has really led the way in advocating and treating women's hearts. Can you talk about the impact that the Heart Center has made these last 3 decades?
We are so excited to celebrate this year. And it's accolades to our colleague Marsha McCoy, who 10 years ahead of the country even knowing the sobering statistic that more women than men are dying from heart attack and stroke. She was a seasoned ICU nurse who was taking care of women who just had bypass surgery, but the billboards were saying, "Learn CPR, save your husband's life." So we started as a virtual center, one woman at a time, 10 years ahead of the announcement of this scary fact that this is our #1 health threat. And we're honored because of our pioneering efforts to have been recognized at the White House on 2 separate occasions, to have had the First Lady of the United States embrace our mission and be here with us on our campus 3 different times. We're really proud to be founding partners with the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute, Heart Truth Campaign, Women Heart in Washington, D.C., American Heart Association. And we have come a long way with raising the awareness but we've just begun. We aren't stagnant here.
So, what are you looking forward to the future? What are the future goals for the Heart Center?
Our goals are transformational this year in that for the past 5 years, we have had strategic plans on our research initiative. And we have now embraced this call to action where we stand on the shoulders of our research giants already here at St. Luke's. And so our goal is now to continue with the awareness, but engage in a fierce mission of research dedicated to women's heart conditions.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us and for being such a strong advocate for women's hearts.
Thank you.
To learn more about St. Luke's Muriel I. Coffin's Women's Heart Center, visit stlukeskc.org/women's heart. You can also find updates on other health news at stlukeskc.org/news. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Health News You Can Use.